Hi everyone, I'm John Proetta, and this is the red cabbage indicator experiment. This is my final project for Chem 106. So what we're going to be doing is extracting red cabbage indicator from whole red cabbage using water. And what we'll be doing is using this juice that we decant off as a universal indicator to test household products. The indicator will turn red in the presence of an acid, and it will turn blue in the presence of a base. Some things I have that are known, like some acetic acid will turn red, and then an antacid or anti-acid here will be basic, turning blue when we test it. Some things are in solution already, but some things will be in solid form, which I'll have to crush up and dissolve in water to test. Ideally, when you're testing your chemicals, you want to pick chemicals that are clear and colorless, so everything is uniform when you're looking and comparing the color. If you're testing something like milk, you can still technically test the pH, just you're going to get it with a white background. So you have to think about that when you're looking at it. But there are other things like soda or pop, which is dark, and you won't be able to see the color change with that. You could, though, dilute some samples to make them more clear or translucent, and then see the color change through that. Just keep your art skills handy when you're looking at it, because it'll be mixing with the color, the background of the solution that you choose. When we're doing pH, we're looking at the concentration of hydrogen ions. So looking at that, if the solution turns red, that means a large presence of hydrogen ions are present, making it acidic, which we know and we can relate knowing from lecture. If it's something basic with a lack of the hydrogen ions, seeing more hydroxide ions, that's where we're going to be seeing, or basic ions rather, we're going to be seeing the blue color changing. So that's what we're going to be looking at, and we're going to be looking at just how the presence of a compound, which is our red cabbage indicator, specifically it's an anthocyanin. This is a plant-based pigment that yields the colors that you see. So for this, the red cabbage indicator, the anthocyanins, the combination shows very dark red-purple color. It just so happens that this compound also changes in the presence of the environment that it's in. So if it's in an acidic environment, it'll turn red. If it's in a basic environment, it'll turn blue. And the normal color neutral, pH neutral 7, you'll see is purple. So it's a really cool experiment. It's colorful, it's fun, and it lets me test my compounds and chemicals and relate it to the stuff that I learned in Gen Chem Lab. So for our materials section, we have a bunch of household products which we'll be using to test our pH indicator against. So what I did was, and what you should do as well, like, keeping your household cleaning products separate from, your food stuffs or your hygiene stuff. So I made sure to really show that all separated out, and you're going to want to make sure to keep that in mind as well. You don't want to be mixing things that you're going to be putting on your face where you're going to be cleaning your shower, floors and all that. So just make sure to keep those separate. So what I'm going to be testing, the things that I have here, and you can look throughout your house, preferably you want to find something that is clear and colorless. It'll help when you're testing against your knowns for your pHs. I have witch hazel, acetone, aspirin, antacid, vodka, honey, lemon lime drink, vinegar, baking soda, salt, Epsom salt, and then a variety of household cleaners and laundry products. So these are going to be the chemical portion of my experiment. For my equipment, I have the cups that I'll be testing each solution in. I chose clear so we can see the color. If they're tinted, it's obviously going to be a little bit difficult to tell. Funnel. Spare bottles for my red cabbage indicator. A knife to cut my cabbage to fit it into the blender. Strainer. A pitcher. Enough water to cover the cabbage when we chop it up to extract the pigment. Wooden spoon. Paper towels for any spills. And for extra credit, spill tray. So we're going to be doing a lot of solution. So we're going to be preparing our red cabbage indicator. So I have my knife, my cutting board, and my red cabbage. So quick thing, little safety thing, when you're working with knives, if they're sharp, of course, you're going to want to point them away from you, right? This knife has a very good blade handle where if it slips, I can't go onto the blade, but some knives have shorter ones. So just be careful while you're doing that. Always cut away from you, things like that. Don't run with knives, point them down while you're walking. It's important to point out the safety when we're doing our labs because safety first. So I'm going to cut my red cabbage into slices and bits there that will fit into my blender. So I'm going to do that. Fill about 3/4 full. It's about like a liter. So now once we have our juice decanted off and strained into our pitcher, we are going to fill up our bottles. Because I'm going to be making a lot of this. So as you can see, we have this really nice purple color, which is going to be the base, the pH neutral, and that's a pH of 7. So I'm going to fill all my bottles up. So once we have these prepared, we're going to move on to the next portion, which is preparing all of our solutions to be tested. So for this portion, we're going to be creating our samples to be tested using our pH indicator that we created. Some of the samples are going to be in liquid form, so that's already going to be set. So they're all set to prepare. We just have to use set amounts in the clear cups that we create. But for the solids, we're going to have to crush them up and then divvy out similar sample sizes so we can test them. So what I'm going to do is I have a piece of paper towel. So my antacid, I'm just going to put it in between the paper towel, and you can crush it with your hand. Some things will crush quite easily. You can use the blade of a knife or spoon or anything that'll get it broken up. You want to do this so it'll dissolve quickly and get into solution. By doing this, we're able to test it in a uniform solution. So they're all going to be an aqueous solution for this. So about a spoonful, do a little more that was lacking. And that's what you're going to do for each one. You're going to add your water. So once you have water, you're going to dissolve the sample that you crushed. So for this, what we're going to do is if you don't have a measuring cup, I'm going to say just take one of your plastic cups and you can use it as a measuring cup. So I'll use that much water to dissolve my sample. I'm going to run it down the sides to get all that dissolved. Make sure that you label your cups. Once you've prepared all your solutions or still waiting for your other solids to dissolve, we can start with the addition of the solutions that are prepared. So with the indicator that you made, we're going to put a set amount into each of these. So what I'll do is I'll do half the volume that we have in our indicator cup. So I'm going to put that there, mark off about half. So my sample reusable cup. So what I'm going to do is fill up my juice. So we're going to take our indicator. You can see it has a really vibrant purple color. So this is our neutral solution. So we can always test it back to our neutral solution at a pH at around 7. So we'll start and we'll just go ahead and go through it. And what I'll do is I'll put the more acidic ones on this side and then the more basic ones on this side with the neutral ones equaling out. So do you think I'll have more acidic, more basic, more neutral? You decide. So first up, lemon lime drink. Acidic, basic, or neutral? So we'll keep doing. Boom. So, and there you go. So there are our results. Okay, so with our prepared cabbage juice indicator, we tested our common household products. And as you can see, we have our acids, neutrals, and then our bases over here. All right, so I did the experimental, and what I have here is lemon juice. Again, this is the acidics. This oxygenated cleaner, aspirin, lemon lime drink mix, witch hazel, borax laundry booster. This here is our cabbage indicator right in the center. I have Epsom salts, Alka-Seltzer, table salt, vodka. This is a cleaning solution that's advertised as like a natural, like safe, like non-toxic cleaning solution. And I found that interesting again because it was more in the neutral pHs. Baking soda and fantastic cleaner. I had the bleach, which gave us the initial dark blue, which I showed in the discussion. And then our laundry starch, which is exhibiting both acidic properties and basic properties from the insoluble and soluble starches in the laundry solution. Overall, this was a great experiment, and I hope you all enjoyed it, and maybe you can bring it to your families and do it at home. I would like to thank my references and sources, as well as Mrs. French's General Chemistry Lab lectures, circa 2005 and 2006. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed my video of the cabbage juice indicator experiment.